Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Welcome, pre-market here at SpartanTrading.com. Welcome to those of you who are joining us through our live YouTube stream. This is what we do Monday through Friday, as long as the market's open. We opine, we talk about the technicals, and you, me, know me. I always have opinions to be expressed. Breathtaking in terms of the lack of time it takes for things to get done. Hey, it's a different world we live in, Buttercup. This is not the world I grew up in, and yet here we are. Overnight, Indonesia consumer confidence, a little bit softer. German rate, wholesale prices, negative. GDP, UK, positive. Gotta get out of that recession. Goods trade, yada, yada, yada. A little bit softer here. Industrial production, manufacturing production, flat month over month versus negative. Construction. So we're seeing really interesting signs of there's no question the United States is a totally different narrative, right? Us against them, right? Regarding the macroeconomic picture. The bigger picture that happens though is that, and that's that US dollar construct that we've talked about, I've talked about in terms of the rest of the world saying, F you, we're tired of your shenanigans. We want to slowly and steadily, deleverage from the impact of the US dollar. What does that look like? Well, you know what it looks like because we talk about it all the time. Industrial production out of the European area, negative, like robustly, 6.7, right? Mortgage back, 6.84, below 7% again. Refi, purchases. We have the EIA, well, good luck with that, right? It's like, whee, walk on the wild side, right? We have a 30-year. Let's see, this could be interesting, right? We've been having some issues in terms of, participation. But the reality is, we're doing just fine as an economy. It's, read my lips, it's the economy stupid. I don't see any cuts coming. I don't want to see any cuts coming. I want to see no Fed fund cuts. I've been talking about this narrative for 2 years now, okay? The balance sheet needs to come down. That is a tightening. They've double tightened. Now it's time for them basically to single tighten, okay? They don't have to do a damn thing with the Fed funds as long as they start continue to unwind that balance sheet. Well, what do I know? So far, I have been, the last 2 years, 100% correct on the bonds, right? I've guided you guys when you should put hedges on. I've guided you guys when you should take profits on those hedges, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, for 2 years now. I don't want to see a strong economy begets strong earnings, begets revenues, begets productivity. This whole AI construct, this is why the 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, is because the thinking of, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, this is not the dot-com bubble. When you have a magnificent story of NVIDIA doing something really special quarter in and quarter out on the earnings side, and its forward PE multiple is cheaper than SMCI and some of these other yahoos. Seriously, just very excited. Just very excited. Okay? I like, we'll see how things play out. Okay? To me, you want to go where that's why I said, okay, well, Apple and Amazon, those are the ones I'm looking at right now. Okay, Netflix looks fantabulous too. Okay, things that I want to look at, things that haven't broken out all-time highs. Okay, I want to look at lack of ownership. Nobody wants to own Apple. Nobody. And it's interestingly enough, Amazon as well, if you look in terms of that. So this is how I look at opportunity. I look at seasonality, then I look at institutional ownership. Okay, then I look at forward PE multiples. For Amazon, this is about as cheap as you get in the 30s. Okay, Apple is not, but the institutional ownership offsets it plus the seasonality. Normally, I get really excited in the teens. Okay, but it's all 61%. Nobody wants to own it. Just saying. I'm just saying. Dollar Tree. I bought a little bit on this dip. Zim. Okay, woof. Woof. Petco. Right? Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. Oh, I did just so you know, I just saw a little bit of that Cybin at 53 this morning. I couldn't help myself. I've been down this rosy path before and seen it come in, so I did so. I'll load up back up if we get back into the mid-40s again on that, just as a share. My average was 53 on it. So UK GDP goes as expected. Stocks rally, mortgage rates bagels, Eurozone industrial output drops. So what would I like to see? You know what I want to see? I'll tell you. Okay. It's about time we in the United States get our head out of the government. Look, social services, whatever. I don't even want to talk about that. Infrastructure. That's what I want to talk about. Now, infrastructure isn't like the old roads and bridges. Okay. Our electric grid by 2030, a lot will go offline because they have to go offline because it's that old. It's similar to the cocoa narrative. If you plant cocoa trees in 2020 and those trees are now mature and they don't basically harvest as much as they did 5-10 years ago, our electric grid, something has to happen. That's what I'm talking about, infrastructure. Okay. I'm talking about, the internet, the towers, maturing, infrastructure. Let's do these factories, robotics, whatever, infrastructure. Let's manufacture something, guys. Let's do something here, right? And stop whining and get serious about some of this stuff. I'm being honest with you guys, right? That's what I call building to make America great again. Stop cocking around and start doing something in manufacture and export, right? Do it. If the dollar declines, exporters should have a good time. Stop manufacturing stuff. Okay, that's my public service announcement for the day. Copper futures eyes over 7-month out. We are long copper, you know that. Retail sales growth, industrial metals, we like that. What do we got? Beijing hits over, whatever. A China-Vietnam on collision course, who knows? US and China, well, still entwined, seeing needs to cut that. Yeah, okay, decoupling. This is what deglobalization looks like. If you don't think, okay, it's kind of similar to the Russians, whatever. If you really don't think that the Chinese have a conduit around a lot of this stuff, okay, oh, very silly and immature, okay? There is a way to buy anything you want, okay, to other countries, okay, to sidestep tariffs and all this shit. If you think otherwise, silliness, okay? It's just, I just laugh and giggle at, oh, okay. What's wrong with China is China. What's wrong with China is Xi. That's what's wrong with China, okay? He did this with COVID, okay? I don't, like I said, what's wrong with China isn't the United States, it's Xi. The systemic unemployment has never been addressed by the dude. Has to be addressed. if you think about it, Mao would be rolling over in his, well, anyways, bunker. TikTok was blank. I wish globally, spawn of the devil. I said it, I keep saying it. Oh, isn't this exciting? Yay. This is why everybody outside the United States say, get us out of here as soon as possible. What a shit show. This is what we got, people. The greatest country in theory in the world, quote unquote. This is what we got, Biden and Trump. People who are so out of touch with the large percentage of the electorate. White old men. So I said, white old men. Why not? OpenAI made AI videos for us. This, it's just stunning. The problem I have with a lot of this stuff is you don't know what's real anymore. Which countries have a legal cannabis market? U.S., Canada. That's about it, and not much else. Arms importers, we know, and it's not safe in India. We know that. The biggest shares of global arms, you would have thought it would something else. And in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Ukraine, Pakistan. Okay, here we go. Gender pay. It's good to be an Asian woman because it's almost 99 cents. Not so much to be a woman, a Latina woman. You only get 50 cents on the dollar, right? Native American, 59. Black women get 69. Women overall get 84. Okay. I've lived a long time, and I know what this looks like in terms of pay. See, this is where men get into trouble, okay? Especially with someone like me. Sometimes they should just keep their mouths closed. That's all I have to say. Because I grew up in a misogynistic work environment, and it wasn't fun. That's all I have to say. You got today, nothing compares to what I had going in, especially in the financial markets and stuff like that. That's not they weren't nice people, but anyways, inflation progress stalls as U.S. housing. Okay, it's all about housing, right? We know this in terms of CPI, right? Will the gender pay gap ever be closed? Digital media is making strides. Okay, cool. Let's move on. All right, so basically the rally we had negates the cycle low that was supposed to happen. So the cycle high, maybe it's cycle low. I don't know. This is why it's nice to watch these things. But when you start to see the vast majority of people nonstop saying the market has to go down, the market has to go down because of seasonality, that's when you say, wow. Every dip we've had has been bought and it's been shallow. Because everybody keeps, getting out, right? The only serious declines we've seen in the market, I believe, have been overseas sovereign entities selling, trimming, the Norwegian, stuff like that, because they are so freaking loaded to get their exposures back inside the percentages. When am I running? I'm running far away. You know what? I'll tell you, Ghosty, if I was someone young today, believe it or not, okay, I would probably be living in Europe somewhere. That's where I would be living if I were doing it all over again. I loved working in the UK. Okay, I loved it. I really did. I would be an expat. Portugal sounds awfully good to me. Spain, I don't know, something like that. NDX, second bullish reversal off the 20-day moving line last week. Well, okay. NVIDIA, BTFD, once again, it really rankles me with SMCI versus NVIDIA. Okay, so let's take a peek. Okay, this is what really gets me going. Okay, just absolutely stunning perfection. Okay, it was in the high 20s last week. And I said, I'm overweighting it. I said to everybody, all right, this is ridiculous. Okay, all right, so that's that. So then you have SMCI, okay, 39. Even Marvell was expensive. Here's Marvell. right? 29, not as expensive anymore after that haircut. Okay, but you see what I'm saying is, how can you not go with the best of breed? Yeah, I'm in both, but I'm overweight in video. Anyways. Is the big picture goal 53-year chart, the 3 gold bull moves, is it coming? Yes, I do believe it is coming. Okay. Special times. And we were very, very fortunate because we bought it right down here. It's an asset class. If my narrative regarding the US dollar is true, then basically blockchain, cryptos, whatever, blockchain companies will go up for security, right? And then we'll also have gold going up as an asset class. And that's why central banks, especially those heavily in BRICS, are buying it up. Now, on the offset of that is the United States government, our Fed, happens to have the largest amount of gold for a central bank globally. If you didn't know that, that actually is an offset and can be used as an offset. Yeah, I don't know if they do it, but who knows what they do with it. Snowflake. It's snowing. I don't know. I'm not there yet. I don't know. What I got? Chatbat's badly flawed rollout wasn't in, but you got that right. But it could be a blessing. I don't know. If I even allow. All right, what's Tommy got to say? He's a big crypto guy. I don't know if you know that. Also, he loves Dan Ives. Just saying. Gas left in the tank because bad news is priced in or investors underweight equities. Well, whatever. I said it. I don't know. Oh, he's back. I thought I took a little time off, but he's back. Okay, Tommy. I don't know. Point and figure time. Go, go. Whoop. I love point and figure charts. About to break out. XLE. Break it out. This is all I looked at when I was in my youth, and I would hand do them. I had all these. Anyways, I love point and figures, and they actually were extremely good with currencies. FYI, commodities. FYI, just telling you. It's talking about. Yes, no, I can't. Do we have any pollutions in any French here? No, can't do. No, can't do. Except for food. No, can't. No, can't do. Sorry. There's something about the French. I have more of a kinship towards the Latin side. Okay, so I didn't see that Qualcomm at the end of the day come in. Anyways, Deutsche Bank cut the bonus pool. The number of tech sector layoffs in 2020 has been outpacing the number of terminations in 2023. Okay. Overseas, what do we got? European lawmakers approve landmark AI legislation. Okay, the same thing, when you think about it in terms of on the medical ethics and stuff like that. I think, I don't know how you do it, but I do think that there has to be some sort of guardrails put up here. Okay, some watermark or something. The problem is you don't know, especially from an AI perspective, what's real and what's not. So you could basically have someone post something from Biden or from Trump. Doesn't matter, anybody. Quote unquote fake news. How do you know it's real? I'm just, you know what I mean? Does that, I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I don't know. So. I don't know. Okay. Charts. What do we got? just think about this. This is why 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. When it used to take in terms of doubling, right? In terms of revolution, right? Knowledge and stuff like that. Okay, 20, 30 years, whatever. They say in the next 10, 15, 20 years, every 3 months, things will double. Okay. Well, the knowledge, but what we know, okay. Technological changes will be so fast paced. Okay. And I think the vast majority of these older, senior individuals who struck themselves on CNBC at all, okay, are dinosaurs. I'm not a dinosaur. Well, I am a dinosaurette, but I have a very, I understand change, what it looks like, and how it's impactful, okay, how meaningful it is. So I just think that it's just wondrous. That's all I have to say. And that's why when you look in terms of AI, productivity, all these things, we have no idea how dramatically that will impact from the bottom up so many companies, right? I mean, look at Oracle, right? It's just going to be breathtaking and stunning. What's the sector we just this tech? The issue is how can you generate incremental? Well, we know. Okay, this is the problem. Look at NVIDIA, look at Oracle, look at some of these software companies. Look at it, okay? When you have a new revolution of AI, okay, this stuff changes dramatically. And the best place you can be is in companies that deal in that new paradigm, generative AI. But you're talking healthcare. There's so many different areas that it reaches out to. This is why everybody's saying, well, the S&P or the EPS is just too high. But it's not when you factor in other things. Now, that's not look, there's going to be a lot of companies that are going to be left behind. No question about it, right? Just because of the sector that they're in. But when you have a Walmart coming out with AI, right? The usage of AI, okay, from a robotics, so many things, it's breathtaking, the scale and scope of efficiency that can come, which if you become productivity improves, it improves your bottom line. That's econ, macro 101. Productivity offsets a lot of woes. And yet people don't see that. And that's what frustrates me. Well, it's not that it frustrates me. That's why they keep picking tops, is because they keep looking at the, 40 EPS. They're gaining. But you see what I'm saying? It's the lack of imagination and understanding of how important this generative AI is. Growth by region. Asia. This is why Asia Pacific Rim with BRICS, as it grows and grows and grows, this is such an important market. India, right? Everybody's going to be saying, look at, like I say, do not underestimate the impact, the powerful impact BRICS, Asia Pacific Rim will have in the coming decades. Reshoring is also a big tailwind for improving productivity by building more efficient new plants in the U.S. Team USA, do it. So my brother lives in Arizona half the year. And he said that Arizona, because of the gigafactories that they're building there, and they're going to double, Taiwan Semi is going to double, right? He said they're looking at least 60,000 jobs coming, okay, once this opens up. And they're already going to double the chip, the foundry, okay? Think about that, right? That takes workers, 60,000 employment. That's just one company, right? Say. Stuff is old, we're due for reinvestment cycle. You got that right, Bippy. Let's do it. See, I'm not making this stuff up, guys. Really not. Just not making it up. All right, this is a Leslie dude. He's always right, never wrong. You did, and you told us, and just go back. Ay, based on my favorite, so it's currently overall at 75. Yeah, I can't touch that. Data is essential to create and generate applications that understand the complex operations. I don't know. Let's see. Now the question is it time to buy? Maybe. No, I probably will do. I'm going to show you something really interesting that I don't think anybody will realize, but I'll show you in the next piece here. Okay. Oh, and Kevin Gordon. Hey, Kev, how you doing? Looking spiffy there. Anyways, Chinese news. Full text of the report of the executive central and local budgets 2023 in this draft set. Okay, I'll have to read that. Turn toward a stronger China now. Yeah. No shock and awe yet, friends. Gold, silver. It would be more than a book. Yeah. Who was that, Roger, that you said was bought $24 million worth of Microsoft or something like that? Of course it's cheaper. That's why I say, Roger. NVIDIA is cheap. If you want to buy something cheap, buy NVIDIA. Russia's Putin has set to deploy troops military equipment to the Finnish border after Finland enters NATO. Yeah, good luck with that one. Oh, whatever. Labor shortages are back below pre-pandemic. Okay, that's fine. We don't care about that. Wells Fargo cuts tested to sell. Well, yeah. Ouch. Iron stock jumps as MASH drug succeeds. Lilly with Amazon. Dollar Tree share slump this quarter. Outlook disappoints. Boeing fall. We've talked. Look, in the room, we've talked about this like ad nauseum, right? Let's see what's going on here in terms of insiders. What do we got? Turn. DYN. Reporting. Buy. Option. Sale. Option. Let's see what the smartest people in the room. These are not, whatever. BTDO, bit deal. BTIG, don't care. You're 33% stud. That gets my attention. As opposed to Ray James, don't take this personally, Sean, but 9% success rate. How do you still have a job with a 9% success rate? We should ask Twinsy, would he still have a job with a 9% success rate? I think not. Jeffrey's Jana, sorry, 1%. HOTG, that was interesting. So yesterday there was some interesting sweeps that came in on HOTG. I did actually buy some on the option side. But nice. Let's see. IHG, Intercontinental, Bernstein, FIS, Fidel. Oh, this is one that Twins likes. 13% outperformed in neutral, but downgrade twice, right? So a lot of these are on valuation. So here's Tesla, 28% lower, and here's Swim, and here's initiations. BTD, BOLD, Carnival. There was some interesting call sweeps yesterday on that we followed. Right, see if that pays out for us. Oh, let's see what the bright people are doing. They're a little snarky today. You couldn't tell. Look at that. It's starting to get to me. Slowly and surely, grudgingly, they're coming to my way of thinking. And this is what we want. We don't want cuts because that means a softer economy. This is Goldilocks right now. My only problem is, unfortunately, is on the inflation side, what that's going to look like. Don't forget it is quad witching. So NVIDIA, 17.7 million. Let's do it. 935. Okay. See what happens there. Let's see what happens there. Tesla, Boeing, IWM. It's really interesting. I mean, this week, last week. Okay, so let's take a look so far. All right, so this is this week so far, right? 23.6 million, obviously, NVIDIA, Superstar, Meta, right? And that's like last week right here. Right? So. Yeah, they are playing games again. So last week, a lot of Tesla hedgers came in. Still NVIDIA, a lot of money in NVIDIA. Well, McDonald's, Colgate. See what's going on the inverse side. Starting to buy a little bit more of that stuff. And then let's take a look at money flows. Money coming out of the SPY yesterday, believe it or not, at SMH. Going into QQQs a little bit. Clean energy semis, regional banking. And then semis, obviously China, internet, flows, energy, tech, right? Bustle, energy. No surprises here. United States, obviously we have an extension, a little overbought, right? See how things play out. SMH, obviously, front end. So it won't take much of a pullback, right, to reset this. You can see here in terms of the rosiness, right? What's really fun, interesting is the oscillator, McClellan oscillator. It's more the summation that's been moving here, but you can see here that like energy and stuff like that. A lot of rosiness there, and even starting to happen overseas as well. Kind of interesting, right? So we'll see. Why are they being so mean? All right, so here's the reality: sloppy, choppy, net negative, right? See how it plays out, my friends. Okay, let's have a little talk. Did you know that when you look at the FNG FANG Plus, okay, what does that include? Whether they're all the same at this point in time. Okay. Did you know? I'm sure you do not know. I'm here to educate, right? Did you know? Meta, Alphabet, Tesla, NVIDIA, Broadcom, Amazon, Netflix, Snowflake, Microsoft, and Apple. You're not just getting the FANG. That plus gets you AVGO, NVIDIA, Snowflake, Microsoft, okay? And of that 10, 20, 30% is NVIDIA, AVGO, and Snowflake. Oh, I'm sorry, Tesla, 40%. Is that not insane? You got to know what these ETFs are. Just saying. Okay, so the market's pulling back a little bit. But see what happens here. Little skullduggery going on right now. Bonds are selling off. Right? Yields are up. Canada, Europe, across the board, except Japan and Hong Kong. Let's take a peek at the curve. That's what we like to do every day. Right? Jimmy D ETF for Kramer. And here we go. 4 month, 2 month. Don't forget we got the 3rd year today. So see how that plays out. Right? 2.5. Right there. 5.10. Still fine. Let's do the still fine. Here's a 30-year break even inflation rate. You can see that, right? 2.26. 5-year break even is 2.35. So this comes from the Fed, right? So this is what they're looking at. Right? And then let's also look at the 10-year. It's the futures. All right. So range bound right now. Okay. And if I don't know, like I say, I could say, okay, bullish consolidation range. It doesn't matter, it's a range right now. Thank God we're done with all of this shenanigans. But irregardless, okay, this is why I'm saying it's really pretty stunning, okay? This is a monthly candle, okay? That's almost 5% in a month. This is what we've been getting, okay? Right now, what we've got, it's still early days, but I mean, we were lucky if you got 0.1% or a fifth of, 0.05%. Feeling better about this, 1.83%, okay? In terms of the ranges. But don't forget, a lot of money is made in lot. Why is this on here? Oh. China. Germany. Okay. Watch the Simon. Looks like it's going to make that next leg. It is holding the breakout, obviously. 53 cents. Looks like it wants to pop the top. More than likely going into the 70 cents. The top of the Bollinger is actually 56 cents. So something like that's going to happen. Shout out to Spartan on that one. This is a baby, a CYBN. Dollar. Not much, right? Cryptos. Up, down, all the way around, right? Here's block. Bitcoin. Okay, so we got the breakout, right? Well, this is monthly, so it has to hold the breakout, right? So as long as we hold that 69,355, okay, we have a confirmation of a breakout. It's a monthly close, you know the drill. So there's still plenty of time for this to do one of these types of candles, okay? So far, so good, right? And then on the extension, 82,315 is what it looks like. And that, if this hold, probably by April, something like that. Okay. Bitcoin, Ethereum, nothing going on there, right? Let's do. Let's have some fun. Okay, so 1635, we've talked about that. That basically is, we're above it. This is 1606 is the fib, and it's trying to hold above that. Okay, after that, then you've got your fibs here, 1918, etc. Okay, now, you know me and my extensions. So if you look at this from an extension, and this is how I got that Lily price target that everybody said I'm full of hooey, pooey, tooey. Okay, 2,800, 2,700, probably by the fall, if we continue to go on this path. Just saying. Just saying. Commodities, what do we got? Okay, gold up, silver up, copper, platinum, palladium, up, oils up, net gas is down. So what's down? Soybeans, corn, cotton, cocoa continues to rip, coffee, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So probably 60-40, 65-35, right? Natty gas, still consolidative, not much patience there. Crude natty gas, you can see here crude's breaking out against that. There's a monster candle. It's still an inside month. So see how that plays out, right? Crude, still consolidating, but upper quadrant, you know what that means, very bullish. Gold crude, this is, I'm a little bit surprised by this, but we'll see. We'll see. We will see. Okay. And here you have gold, obviously breaking out. 21.55 monthly hold has to hold. Okay, are we going higher? Yes, but you know, this to me is a multi-year, decades-like swing. Right? That's what I'm thinking. We bought it down here, for those of you who were in the room at the time. Okay, I said this was a multi-year time, and so far so good. And now we're breaking this as a multi-year breakout. Momentum begets momentum. Stocks, what do we got? Well, we were up, now we're down, except for the Dow, not much. Okay, VIX is down too, so CAC is up a little bit, FTSE, IBEX, right? China down, CS up, well, depends, Hang Seng, but there it is. Nifty 50, a bit down, down. DAX still looks fine. Fez still looks fine. FXI, who cares, but looking better. KWeb. Range bound, but looking better, right? This is the one, money. This is, okay, so this is QQQCQQ. This actually has my attention. The reason why I'm saying that is because normally this would happen in a, not in a bull market, okay, more in a bear market with the Qs. Okay, so that tells us that obviously the Chinese market has been rallying. So if this continues, more than likely, it will be our market pulling back a little bit. Is that going to happen? I don't know, but I'm not betting on it, that's for sure. Yeah, I actually am in that MINM, Roger. It's funny, you know, we talk about it, but it's true. You're basically,
Alrighty, Beth, ready to pop on whenever here.
okay. Your volume's a little bit low too.
All right, let me just adjust that. What's up, guys? Just gonna quickly adjust the mic. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Just adjusted it. All right. Let's go. Okay, so hi guys, what's going on? If you guys are new to chat, ever done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. Gonna pop into chat, so it looks something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in, click on the disclaimer section, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section. Scroll to the very top of the section, see a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both in regards to risk reward, guys. Most important ratio in trading, so definitely worth checking out there. Continue to scroll down with the summary of how this chat works, breaks all the channels work on the left-hand side, so you can properly navigate and chat through the day. Important to know where to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have the how to read alerts on the options equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Below that, options rules we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. Continue to scroll down. We have the options rules that we use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. Continue to scroll down. Oh. We have the any with the small account less than 10K breaking down. If you do have a smaller account less than 10K, some rules, information, discipline you can put in place, you can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options direct perspective below that. All right, let's take a look what we got going on today, guys. So a couple of things. Tesla, NVIDIA, MSTR, BGNE, GXAI, Cybin, Tesla. So investors have been writing to the judge. He threw a loan loss risk setting $55.8 billion package, but he's not reading the letter, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this is per Bloomberg. It's gapping down on that. NVIDIA gapping down slightly, but NVIDIA price target raised to 1,100 at Bank of America ahead of his GTC event. MSCR gapping up in sympathy with Bitcoin. BGNE, first doses of Runisca provides patients with chronic lymphomic leukemia in low and middle income countries under collaboration of the Max Foundation. Gapping up on that. GXAI acquires rights to AI-enabled technology from top biohacking app. And then Cybin receives FDA breakthrough therapy designation for CYB003, offering expedited review for its novel psychedelic molecule. And that was what I predicted was going to happen, guys, like 3 months ago. And into this volume spike, it did happen. So that's great. So we'll see where that thing goes today. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on today, guys. First two, Tesla and NVIDIA. Let's have a gander. So Tesla, guys, we have this little gap down here, as we talked about. We had that 163 level. Let's get this one. Okay, let's take a look at this. 174.79 pivot to the downside today. Unable to hold. We look for a pullback towards 170.84 to 165.57. Able to hold 179.88 to 186.22 down on the upside. Going to be leading right now. Bearish sheet roll. Look for a bottom end range test here and see whether or not it holds up. So that is Tesla. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Pivot to the downside today, 913.70. Levels able to hold. 928.19 to the 951.17. Unable to hold. 897.70 to 879.10 on the downside. Going to be leading bearish. Neutral looking for continuation lower today. That's Tesla. That is NVIDIA. Let's take a look at the next two. MSTR and BGNE. I'm gonna look at this intraday here just because it'll be pretty tight. So MSTR pivot 1654 level hold 1711.40 to 1777. I need to hold 1594 to 1545 downside leaning on the bullish neutral side today. I think we get a slight profit take out the gate, and then we can look for continuation higher. Let's take a look at BGN8. Slice. All right, pivot going to be 180.06 levels able to hold. 184.25 to 189.25. Unable to hold. We look for a pullback towards 176.71. 173.47 downside. Leaning on the bullish neutral side today. BGNE, MSTR. Let's take a look at the next two. GXAI and Simon. Ten 66 pivot levels able to hold 1255, 1402, unable to hold 862 to 697 downside leaning bullish. Oh, the gate here. I think we get a little bit more continuation higher. That's GXAI. Let's take a look at Simon. So pretty good, guys. I think we can, I mean, from our entry, we're up what, 66% in like half a week. Pretty fucking good. Excuse my French, but that's pretty exciting. I'm gonna give you intraday levels today. I think we could actually get a decent push. So let's go here. So pivot to the upside today. Let's go 54 cents level holds. We're looking at 57 to 60, and then you got room to like 72 on the upside, which, you know, I think we can get going a little bit more. Unable to hold 50 cents, 45 downside, leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher today. That's GXAI. That is Simon. All right, let's take a look at the SPY and the FANG. I'm not gonna have time to do all the SPY guys just because it's a little bit slow today to get going. But with that being said, never as much as I can out as fast as I can. And that 519 is fine. 515.85 pivot levels able to hold. Wait, yeah, 515.85 pivot levels able to hold. 517.42, 518.29. That level breaks. 519.48. Unable to hold. We look for a pullback on the SPY into 514.13 to 511.82. If we're unable to break last day's high out the gate, guys, like within the first, I don't know, 20 minutes, I think we're having an inside day today, where they're going to consolidate it a little bit more before, breaks out and gets continuation. Okay. We'll have to keep an eye on the semiconductors because they've been leading the SPY. So, semis are unable to push as well. I expect it to be an inside day on the market. So a little bit more on the downside, but obviously holding within the range. Pivot on Apple to the upside, 173.87 level holds, 175.67, unable to hold, 171.97 downside leaning bullish neutral. Looking for continuation higher if that pivot point is able to be reclaimed. Let's take a look at Amazon. And then I'm going to pass it over to South Beach, guys. You'll see the rest of the charts in the chart section. And then, of course, we'll go over them right after I come back on. Just for timelines. 175.18 pivot level holds 176.75 and 177.98. Unable to hold 174.34 to 173.13. Downside leaning bearish neutral there out the gate. All right, so I'm going to pass over to Selby, guys, while I type up the pre-market action plan. Then we'll do a quick little recap before the open. Selby, if you're ready, she's all yours for now, my friend.
Good morning, guys. Okie doke. So hump day. Let's see what's going on. All righty. Technicals. Let's start with that. So let's look at the SPYs. Fantastic, right? I mean, what's not to like? It's just perfection. Qs are pretty much the same, guys. I've been saying this now since what? End of October, and no reason to deviate from the game plan at this point. The Russell's better than it was. Okay, it came in a little bit the last couple of days, but the chart is pretty good actually. Look at the weekly. Forget the daily. Daily's mostly a lot of noise. The weekly looks pretty good, and if it can get above that 210 level, it can go. There's really not a whole lot of resistance above that. So next resistance, you could argue it's the, maybe 230, 240-ish. Okay, so it looks pretty good. And that brings us to the transports. And they just don't move, guys. It's just trade anything but this crap. It's just a waste of time. And the utilities are not any better. Okay, these two indexes, just forget them. Okay, don't even bother. They're choppy. They have little range, all the reasons not to be involved. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at the bond market this morning, see if anything changed. It's probably very quiet, and it is, nothing doing here. The biggest move is 0.02 on the 10-year at 418. So it's rallied a little bit from that, I don't know what it got down to, 412 or something like that. Back up to here, that's nothing. So there's really nothing doing in that. The 210 spread is what, 42. So high end of the range. Bond market yields are up a little bit in London this morning. Their 10 years are above 4% now, 4.02. Okay. The rest of the Eurozone is marginally higher, but, insignificantly so. Okay, so bond market, by and large, quiet. You got a nice move up in oil this morning, but still staying above that 80 range. It's been flirting with getting above 80 a few times, unable to do so successfully. Pretty quiet as of now, it's in the range. So I don't trust these stocks. They have been acting better though, and I have been trading them from the long side. But just be careful because they tend to, whatever way they go in the morning, they tend to reverse sometime during the day. You haven't had a linear move in these stocks more than once or twice in the past, I don't know, 4 weeks or so. Okay, so don't expect one today. Gold is up marginally, 0.1. Copper is up 2%, but it's above 4% of above $4, which is a big move. So that thing has gotten some legs behind it. Maybe it could be a whole bunch of reasons for that. But anyway, copper looks pretty good. As far as these other commodities, some have really moved to the top of their ranges. Like cocoa's freaking crazy. It just goes up every day. I don't know what this is going to do to Hershey, but it can't help the situation. And then with people on diets and Ozempic and all that other crap, I'd be a little scared of this one. Coffee's been strong also. Yeah, whatever. These commodities are not affecting our stock prices except for maybe the cocoa, and that's only a couple of stocks, so I wouldn't worry about it. Dollars mixed against North America, up against the yen, back to 719 on the Chinese currency, and the pound and the euro not moving today. So currencies, bonds, all pretty quiet. Crypto, that's the big dog again. Bitcoin's up almost 2%, Ethereum's up 0.5%, Solana's up 2%. So that's that. And let's look at the foreign markets. So FTSE dead flat, DAX dead flat, Nikkei down 0.2, China's down 0.2, Hong Kong dead flat, Taiwan dead flat. So probably an inside day. I concur with Spartan on that. Okay, probably an insider day. All right, so we got the banks and Fed. I don't know if any Fed governors are speaking today. Let me see. I didn't think so, but I could be wrong. Let's just take one gander at that and see. We have the PPI tomorrow, you know. No Fed speakers today, okay? So that's that. So everything should stay quiet. And then tomorrow we have the PPI. So we'll see how that plays out. China, Russia, we'll get to in a minute. Crypto, clearly been in fuego for a while now, continues to be so. There are a lot of things working in its favor, but most importantly, I think, is, you know, the fact that currencies with all the debt outstanding, people just don't want to be in them. And that's that, okay? So Mr. Market, yesterday we had the Dow up 200-ish. SPYs were really terrific, up 50. NASDAQ was up 250. Even the transports were up. And the leading groups were semis, high PE tech, FANG, China, and the hospital stocks. So a risk on day. And the ones that were on the sell side, you would have expected, right? Utilities, silver, EV. Okay. And even I think the Bitcoin were on the sell side yesterday too, a little bit. All right, so what's working? Tech. That's it. All right, moving on to news. We have a Biden-Trump rematch, unless something changes with health reasons or court reasons. It looks like it's those two knuckleheads. I'm sure, you know, the majority of Americans is not happy with the choice, but tough noogies. That's the way it goes. European lawmakers passed the first major act to regulate AI. Of course they are, right? They don't produce AI, but they want to regulate it. So that's that. Ken Griffin spoke a little bit yesterday from Citadel. He's one of the handful of guys that when he talks, I stop and listen to what he has to say. All right, Federal Reserve should move more slowly to cut interest rates. The worst thing they can do is cut, pause, and then raise rates again. So that's what Burns did way back when. He doesn't want them to make the same mistake. It's more prudent to go a bit slower than what people think. There are significant inflationary forces in place at the current time. He highlights government spending, deglobalization, high debt levels, and inflation still well above the Fed's 2% target. So that's his narrative, okay? And you got to put him at the head of the class for sure. All right. Japan set to offer huge rate hikes. And they think they're going to start doing away with these negative rates. Okay. Then you got Marko Kolanovic, and he is the JP Morgan strategist. And I guess you can put him in the camp with his boss, Jamie Dimon, in guys who haven't been right in quite a long time. Okay, both of these guys have been bearish pretty much through the whole rally and before so. He's sticking to his bearish theme, the Kalanovic is, amid a more optimistic Wall Street. Okay, he thinks markets are priced for perfection. They're ignoring substantial geopolitical risk. They're ignoring inflation risk. And he remains underweight equities and overweight cash. So wrong, 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 and wrong. And that's why you don't listen to anybody but the stock market. You take what guys like that say, you plant them in the back of your head, and you wait for the market to confirm whatever narrative is out there. And right now, the narrative that's working is, I want to be in tech. I don't give a shit what these guys are saying. All right, David Costin, who's the Goldman strategist, he raised his target the other day to what, 5,200 from 4,700. So that's where we're at, more or less. And the gal from Bank of America, she raised her target to 5,400. Paul Wick, who's been running Seligman Tech Fund for like forever, and he's known to be a great investor. This is his biggest portfolio names in order: LRCX, Apple, Broadcom, Teradyne, Synopsys, AMAT, Microsoft, Google, ADI, and letter V. I don't know if I put that letter V in that category, but he does. You see, he doesn't own a lot of these semiconductor names. They're not in their top 10, but his performance has been pretty good regardless. Okay. Then you got Putin talking about nuclear war, that he's ready for a nuclear war. And if the state of Russia is threatened, he won't hesitate to use it. He said Russian nuclear capabilities are the highest of any country in the world, and he's very proud of that. Dickhead. Then you got China's Country Garden, which is one of their developers. They whiffed on a bond payment last night. So this one may be a zero also. Okay. GM hires a Tesla executive, one of their manufacturing executives, to replace retiring head from the EV area. That's what I was getting at yesterday about Boeing. They need to replace the CEO, who is a complete disaster, and get someone who can put a firecracker under the ass of these guys that are producing these planes, because the same mistakes, it's just one after another. And clearly the management team that they currently have in place is not doing the job. Okay, then you have EV, CNBC article, Euphoria in EV is dead. It appears as though, being that the mileage that you get is, not so wonderful, south of 300, people want hybrids. So a lot of these guys are scaling into hybrids, or they're scaling back or delaying other EV plans. And you got GM, Ford, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Jaguar, Land Rover, and Aston Martin all doing that. Okay. Larry Ellison made 15 billion yesterday on that big move in Oracle. One of the Republican mega donors, Keith Robus of Khosla Ventures, said he will not give any money to any Republican who does not vote to ban TikTok. 737 MAX crisis is causing problems for the airlines. They have to cut capacity, cut flights, cut capacity, cut hiring, etc. And you see all these guys announcing this stuff lately. Love, American, UAL, all commented in the last 48 hours how they have to make these cuts, and partially due to Boeing's lack of new products for them. Okay, so that's Boeing screwing up the whole system. And yet there's a guy here that today pushing Boeing, and the truth of the matter is, guys, I don't blame him, because this is like a hidden gem. I mean, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, what's America's best company, I might have said Boeing. So it will shine again. They just have to get their shit together and get rid of these guys. Okay. That brings us to individual names. So on the earnings side, we got this TNON and Skin. Skin also announced a new CEO. And SIGA was good. Okay. SBOW got a merger proposal. NVIDIA, they got a price target increase from Bank of America, 9.25 to 11.10. So it was up early and now it's coming in a little bit. IBM cutting staff in marketing and what was it? Marketing and some other shit. Nothing that, was that important, but they're just, their eye on the ball. BGNE, first doses of their leukemia drug administered, stocks up on that. YMM extends their share repurchase. NCNA got a new patent. You got some momentum in Pixie. AGRX pays off debt. You got some momentum names, LICY, HOLO, and Triple M. GXAI acquired rights to an AI-enabled technology. And you got this Cybin. They got what? They got approval. What's it called again?
Fast track self-page.
Fast track. But here's the interesting part that I don't know. I was listening to Spartan. I don't think he pointed this out. And this is, in my opinion, better than the breakthrough designation. If you read the release, okay, not the first, not the second one, not this one that they got the breakthrough designation, but read the other story, which is way more important, way more important. Okay, they raised 150 million bucks. Okay, they'll never have to go back to the market for more money. Okay, this will last them forever. And look at the cast of characters that bought this thing. First of all, they raised it at 43 cents. Okay, and if I read this correctly, they don't have any warrants. Okay, so they bought a shitload of stock, $150 million worth. And listen to the cast of characters that bought this thing. This is the best of the best, guys. Okay. Deep Track is an amazing investor. RA Capital, I would put them in the top 2 or 3. All right. You have those knuckleheads doing this deal. I'm telling you, if I didn't own Cybin, I'd be buying it this morning. 100%. With these guys buying the stock at 40-something cents. I mean, like, I would look at this thing and say, okay, I got risk down to 30 cents. And if they're right, I'll make $2, $3, $4. Okay. So to me, the fast track designation is the bullshit. The fact that they have these investors putting in 150 million of real dollars, that's the whole ball of wax, guys. All the other stuff is bullshit. And I suspect that the stock will do better over time. Okay, and I'm not saying I had really a lot of this shit. I probably sold 10%, and because it was prudent, and now I'll sit. Okay, so I wanted to point that out, and I think that's really an important analysis. All right, just don't look at it like, okay, this happened, sell the stock. You might want to. That's fine and dandy. Take your profits if you want. I'm telling you how I'm looking at it. Okay, and why. All right, moving on to the negative side. You got Dollar Tree, and then there's some stocks that have fallen with Dollar Tree, like Dollar General, and you're going to have retail might have a little bit of an issue on this. Okay, some of them anyway, especially discount retailers. AIRE, because Dollar Tree's a well-run company. Surge was bad. SURG, Woof, Swim, CYRX, ACDC West, Zen, Arco. Coin is doing a convert, so that creates short selling. That's why that one's down. The Bitcoin's up a bunch. You see MSTR and that shit up. Intel lost this plan for $2.5 billion. Adidas soft sales. Tesla was downgraded by Wells Fargo, basically on margin and lower prices and more competition. I agree with that. Toyota Motor gave the big increase. GE Healthcare is doing a secondary, and the rest of it is not that important. But the most important thing to me is cyber. Simon, okay? And I'm gonna pass it to Spartan. Let's have a good day, guys. I imagine will be an inside day, but let's see. Spartan, it's all yours.
Thank you, South Beach. And yeah, guys, I did post that 150 million private placement there. You'll see the link. Okay, so anyways, let's take a look what we got going on. So if you guys are new to chat and done so, make sure you click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. You're gonna pop in a chat, so it looks something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you do come in, disclaimer section, click on that, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section, scroll to the very top of the section, a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both in regards to risk reward, guys. Most important ratio in trading, so definitely worth checking out that. Continue to scroll down, summary of how this chat works, breaks down the channels work on the left hand side, so you can probably navigate the chat throughout the day. Important to you in order to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have the how to read alerts on the opposite equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Below this, options rules would like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. Continue to scroll down. SPX rules that we use every single day on the SPX idea, so definitely be sure to understand what's going on there. Obviously, because we do an SPX every day. Below this, we have any of the small account less than 10K breaking down. If you do have a smaller account less than 10K, so rules, information, discipline you can put in place so you can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options direct perspective below that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at pre-market tickers on watch. A couple things we're looking at today, guys. So Tesla SMCI missed. Whoa, scrolled up too high. Okay, so Tesla, Nvidia, MSTR, VGNE, GXAI, and then Cybin. So Tesla, we got a downgrade from Wells Fargo, $125 price target, some other crap, and then basically it's gapping down. Nvidia, price target raised to 1,100. Bank of America ahead of the GTC event, it's gapping down slightly here. MSTR gapping up in simply Bitcoin. VGNE, first doses of Brukinsa provided to patients with chronic lymphomic leukemia and low and middle income countries under collaboration, Max Foundation, or scapping up on that. GXAI, Gaxos acquires rights to AI-enabled technology from top biohacking app. Cybin receives FDA breakthrough therapy designation. They raised 150 million private placement stocks in Fuego. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint. Intraday, first two we're looking at, guys, gonna be that Tesla and Nvidia. All right, guys, Tesla, let's take a look. Pivot to the downside today, going to be the 174.79, unable to hold 170.84, 165.57, able to hold 179.88, 186.22 on the upside. You're leaning bearish, looking for continuation lower. Nvidia, 913.70, pivot, unable to hold 897.70, 879.10, able to hold 928.19 to 951.17. Upside leaning on the bullish neutral side, looking for reclaiming the pivot and a push higher. MSTR, BGNE. MSTR, my friends, what do we got? 1654 pivot, level hold 1711, 1777, unable to hold 1594 to 1545, downside leaning bullish neutral. BGNE 180.06 pivot, level holds 184.25, 189.25, unable to hold 176.71, 173.47, downside leaning bullish neutral there if the pivot point's able to hold. GXAI, Cybin. GXAI pivot to the upside today. Going to be the 1066 level holds 1255, 1402, unable to hold 862 to 697, downside leaning bullish neutral. Cybin 54 cents, level holds 5760, unable to hold 50 to 45, leaning bullish neutral there, looking good. Single the VIX Qs and IWM. VIX 1364, unable to hold 1301, 1249, able to hold 1425 to the 1459 spot, and then the QQQs pivot to the upside today. 440.16 level holds, 444.65, the 448.22 unable to hold, 435.81, 433.49 SPX. I don't know why I went this way with it, but I did. SPX, I'll go through this by the thing in just a second. SPX 51.85 level holds 522.2 to 52.57 unable to hold. 51.39, 51.12. Let's take a look at the spine of the fang. Let me get this up. I'll type this out as I usually do. Kind of went through it backwards today. I don't know why I did that, but here we are. Okay. So it's 515, 85. Pivot to the upside today, in my opinion. This level holds. Room higher into the 517.42 resistance breaks. You see the 518.29 tested. Pivot, unable to hold. Move lower into the 514.13 support breaks. We see the 511.82 tested. Leaning bearish, sorry, leaning bullish. Neutral if pivot reclaims. If not, inside day. Obviously, if it reclaims a pivot, it's outside day because it's a last day high break, or it's going to be able to push through last day's highs. So let's see what happens in that regard, my friends. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the thing. Apple. Pivot to the upside today is going to be the 173.87 level holds 175.67. Unable to hold 171.97, 170.42. Going to be leading bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at Amazon. Pivot to the downside today, 175.18. Unable to hold 174.34, 173.13. Able to hold 176.75, 177.98. Leading bearish neutral if that pivot point is unable to hold. Netflix. Pivot to the upside today is going to be the 616.38 level hold 624.44. Unable to hold 608.44, 673. Leading bullish neutral there. Meta. Pivot to the upside today. 502.34 level holds 508.80, 519.60. Unable to hold 499.27, 494.77. Leading bullish neutral. And last but not least, guys, Google. Pivot to the upside today. 137.68 level holds 139.46, 140.47. Unable to hold 136.93, 135.12. Leaning bullish neutral. That is the SPY. That's the individual names that we're looking at today. Thanks for popping into the YouTube stream, my friends. If you want to come trade with us, you can certainly do so. Go to SpartanTrading.com. Sign up there. Otherwise, thanks for